but I want to be married for probably 2.
Where are you going? You're home now.
Yeah, we back. We back. We back. We back. About to get started. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Being in your
So yeah, this what we gonna do. If uh if we meet the $25 live stream goal, I'll stay on 2 hours on YouTube. If not, I might go over to Rumble after the first hour. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Or you could do Super Chat Super Sticker, which is the dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
30s and living alone, being in your 30s and living alone, single, is such a strange experience because one night it'll be like, I live alone and I'm single, and then the next night it's like, I live alone and I'm fucking single. Like,
yeah, guys, sometimes she's on top of life, especially in her 20s. She
Yeah, see, there's ups and downs to every path in life. There's ups and downs to being single. There's ups and downs to being in a relationship. Most women are going to be unhappy no matter what. But see, I think this is what she's failing to realize. It's a lot cooler to be single. I mean, it sounds like she's talking about the downsides of even being single as an attractive woman in America, attractive white woman. But it's going to be 10 times worse when you're an old, wrinkly white woman that nobody cares to look at anymore. Being single at those ages is really going to suck.
has access to all men, but now in her 30s, guys, it's not so much fun any longer. Sometimes she's feeling good, sometimes she's crying herself to sleep.
Let's be clear. Let's be very clear. I would say she's definitely above average attractiveness. Um she's probably did she say 30? So yeah, she's probably 30, 32. When a 30-plus-year-old attractive white woman is sitting in her car complaining about date and complaining about being single for years, what she's saying is, I've been fucking tall, handsome, charismatic men and boys since I was 15, and none of them want to take me serious other than sex. And I would rather stay single than be with a guy who doesn't meet those guys' criteria. I've been getting fucked and ducked by tall, handsome, charismatic men, and I refuse to settle for a regular guy because I'm too good for a regular guy. But then at the same time, internet feels sorry for me because I'm single.
You can't make a woman happy. It's impossible. I've never met a happy woman in my life.
She has access to all men, but now in her 30s, guys, it's not so much fun any longer. Sometimes she's feeling good. Way alone. But anyway, guys, she forgot to mention about the 10 hookups she did. 10 is lowballing it. Like in the last 5 years. You're not gonna tell me that a 20-something-year-old woman is celibate for 5 years. Get out of here. But now, guys, let's move on to this one that is very mad.
In case you missed it, there's a guy coming on TikTok and he's making these videos in response to my video about how women are choosing to be single. His argument is that women are not choosing to be single, they're choosing to be picky, and we have unrealistic expectations of men. Saying that I, the 37-year-old woman who has 2 children and a previous marriage,
she has just destroyed damaged goods, and there is nothing a man can do. She could do one of two things: one, die alone, or two, she can marry a man and resent him for the rest of her life that she has to be stuck with him. Those are the only 2 ways out.
What's up, X?
At your age, you're basically unmatchable. Like, forget about it. Basically, you're done. You're like a has-been, and no man will ever go for you.
Emotionally daunting and hurtful when I just keep hitting a wall, you know?
Did she say 38? Somewhere around there. 38, 2 kids, divorce under her belt. Let's see what she has to say. I'm sure it's going to be something very profound.
saying that I, the 37-year-old woman who has 2 children and a previous marriage, I am no longer a high-value woman. I am a low-value woman, and that no matter how hard I try to convince myself, I am low value.
Bingo.
She's going to have issues for the rest of her life.
I mean, yeah, that's true. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse with age. And I can already tell you're doing like Botox, you're getting your face pulled back. It actually looked like you got a whole facial reconstruction. So let's be very clear. This is a woman that hates herself and who is extremely insecure. That's not up for debate, just based off the face work. And let's be clear about this too. The video that man made, it hit a deep nerve because she's making a video about it. So it hit a nerve. I'm sure his video wasn't the first video responding to her because I'm sure whatever TikTok video she's doing, I'm sure it gets hundreds of thousands of views. But let's continue. She's hurt. She's hurt bad.
Woman, and that no matter how hard I try to convince myself, I am low value. That is the whole point, sir. That women are getting to choose to be picky now. They're getting to choose and better gauge the partners that they're choosing in life because we no longer have to have you to survive.
Okay, cool. Well, that's not true. You definitely need men to survive. But you're right. You don't need a boyfriend per se to survive because men as a collective have made the world so comfortable and convenient for you where you're right. You don't need a man. But even that is a gift given to you by men. We ain't even going to touch on that. So And we hear the same dingbat argument all the time. We could be picky now because we can get our own jobs. AKA, check this out. This is some dumbass shit. AKA, since we can get our own jobs and our own apartments and cars, we're all gonna wait for the top 5%ers to marry us and have kids with us. So cool. It make more sense. Like that 100% of women are gonna hold out for 5% of men. That makes more sense to them than just getting a regular guy. I really think this makes sense. So since women could get cars and jobs, it's top 5% man or nothing. Like mathematically speaking, that's gonna leave 95% of women single for the rest of their lives. So great strategy, bitch. Great strategy. And I assure you, you're gonna be one of those 95 percenters as a 37-year-old mother of two, divorced, making TikToks online. You're definitely part of the 95% that's not gonna end up living happily ever after, married to a Chad, a rich Chad.
No longer have to have you to survive.
Yeah, I wish you would have done that in your first marriage, you massive 304. But anyway, look, I don't know in terms of value as a woman. Maybe you're a good woman. You're not a good wife, though. You're not.
So yeah, let's be clear. Let's be clear. That nice house that she's sitting in, she divorce graped it from her ex-husband. But she's gonna sit on here all high and mighty like she worked hard for everything she got in life. Oh, poppycock. Complete horseshit. And he paid for all this facial work too. This woman is severely mentally ill.
You won't have a man because a man can't be a man when he's saddled down up to his neck in debt with a dissatisfied woman who don't give a damn. She want more and more and more. Let me tell you something, woman.
Thank you. No, thank you. But guys, hey, feel welcome to, if you want to.
I no longer have to have you for food and shelter and rights and even to live a decent life. We're able to provide that for ourselves now and for our.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Without men protecting your rights, you wouldn't have any rights. You would be sucking cock all day if men decided that that's your fate. So let's just be clear about that too.
No longer have to have you for food and shelter and rights and even to live a decent life. We're able to provide that for ourselves now and for our children now. And so I don't have to accept the things that do not suit me anymore. The breadcrumbing or the bare minimum or the personality traits, or even if you wear Crocs.
Okay, ha 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 ha. Cool. Ha 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 ha. You don't have to settle for a man that you don't have to settle for a man that wears Crocs. So basically she's saying, women don't have to settle for anything less than the perfect man now because they can get a car and an apartment and a job. So every woman, now that they can make their own money, deserves the perfect man that doesn't exist. Here's the thing though, most women aren't going to make enough to make it to the end of life. Women's little HR jobs making 50K isn't going to get them to the end of life, but you're not smart enough to touch on that aspect of it, are you?
Me anymore. The breadcrumbing or the bare minimum or the personality traits, or even if you wear Crocs, I don't have to choose that for myself anymore. And that
Guys, I'm gonna say.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Since you don't have to choose all that stuff anymore, you think you're gonna get the best man you could have ever gotten now at 37 with 2 kids and a divorce under your belt. This is when you get creme de la creme, huh? Oh my goodness, man. They just be talking to hear themselves talk.
With Crocs on, guys. Like, what is going on? Why do people wear Crocs? But anyway.
Offends a lot of you men because you feel like we should just accept. It's not even about you. It's more about us. And in all of history, marriage has usually been about the men. It's no longer about that anymore.
Okay. All right, cool. It's no longer about the men. Here's the thing, you're not going to respect a man who makes it all about you, though. And is that what you're saying? It should be all about what you want instead of all about what a man want? You think that's going to lead to a marriage that lasts? When you get tired of him, when you get tired of the new guy, if one comes along, which I really don't think is going to happen, but let's just say it did. After a few years, you're going to get tired of him and then divorce grape him for his house. And then you're going to be back on the internet at whatever, 43, talking about, I don't got to settle for what I settled for last 2 marriages. I get better now. And so on until your fake plastic fucking ass passes away.
Yes. And in all of history, marriage has usually been about the men. It's no longer about that anymore. That is the beautiful part of this movement, is that not us women, okay, because we are independent now and we can float things on our own and we can do all the things by ourselves.
No, you can't. Sorry to interrupt you. No, you can't. Again, this dress made by men, this collar made by men, the makeup invented, designed, and brought to you by men, this lamp, the drawing, that plant over there. That plant, guys, was also designed by a man. No. We have constructed and allowed, and for them to be so fucking ungrateful and say that they don't need no man, that the bar needs to be raised higher. So annoying.
We are now able to choose what is best for us and best for the children. So back in the day, women were just probably letting men into their lives and into their children's lives who may not have been the best fit for them.
You were the burden. You have always been the burden. We were always doing you the favor. We were always the prize since the caveman days, and we still are today. A man that worked at McDonald's is a prize over you. You're just a fake, nagging, cunty bitch. That's not an asset to a man's life. You're a liability, bitch. You're no one's prize. No one should do anything for you. You're a horrible person that can't bring much value to anybody, even your own kids, in my opinion. Any man would be doing you the favor, ho.
Into their lives and into their children's lives who may not have been the best fit for them.
Yeah, and the best thing for the children, guys, in case you didn't catch that, is for them to not have a father. That's the best thing for the children, you fucking moron.
But we don't have to do that anymore. So we do, in fact, get to be picky. We do, in fact, get to have unrealistic expectations, and that is our prerogative, and that is the whole point. So I am not offended by anything that you would say about me.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna
This
let
is
the
not
camera keep
true.
rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense.
What you mean to say is all the niggas you up with ain't
Right.
Thing that you would say about me. He also said that I'm not on his level. He would never date me. I'm not trying to date you, sir. And you are right. If Mr. Right came along and came into my life and was able to give me all the things that I wanted and was actually going to bring value to my life, of course, nobody wants to be single forever.
Incentive does he have to do all that for you, lady? Seriously. In her mind, because I'm pretty. It's not enough. He can get a pretty 25-year-old, a pretty 27-year-old, or even a pretty 37-year-old with no kids and who don't talk about her personal life on TikTok. Men of means don't want their bitches all on TikTok giving business. But you're not smart enough to know that.
Value to my life. Of course, nobody wants to be single forever. But in this point and in this moment, if I'm looking at the menu, I am in fact choosing to be single. So, thank you.
Okay, why aren't there any men that you deem worthy on your menu? I bet they're on a 24-year-old's menu. See, women like this like to talk about the dating pool like everybody's in the same pool. No, there's different pools for different people. There's never going to be high value men in your pool anymore. That's over with. You actually won, but women always find a way to lose. It seems like she married a millionaire and she probably left him for something stupid, thinking there was something better on the dating market now that she's damn near 40 with 2 kids. She left what was probably a millionaire thinking she was going to get another millionaire that had a couple less flaws. Terrible strategy. It's definitely not going to work. I wouldn't hit it. Yeah, I wouldn't hit it. I'm not attracted to the crazy plastic surgery look. To each their own.
Sorry, I paused it by mistake. But there you go, guys. She's looking at the menu and she's not impressed, you fucking losers. She's not impressed by any of you 5,000 people watching this. You're fucking scum for this woman, alright?
Who we got in here? Who we got in here? Who we got in here? Let's get the donations up. If y'all want me to stay on 2 hours on YouTube, Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Or Super Chat, Super Sticker, dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Nothing has been met. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. Y'all disrespecting the like button. I got 11 people watching, only 4 likes. So let's get the likes up, likes up, likes up. Please, let's get the likes up.
Realistically, if I want kids by about 28, but I want to be realistically, if I want kids by about 28, but I want to be married for probably 2 years before having kids, I need to have a husband and be married by 26. And then I'm going to be engaged for probably about a year, you know, to plan the wedding and do all that stuff. So I need to be a fiance. I need to be engaged by 25. But then, you know, usually before you get engaged, you're probably dating the person for about 2 years. I feel like that's a good amount of dating someone.
You don't have to do that.
That means that I'm going to have to basically meet this person by 23.
Pause. You need to do that if you're a guy and you follow my advice. You need to see what she's really all about. Chicks that want you to rush into it, bad news bears.
Okay. I want to bring your attention to the woman at the top right. She's basically a cunt. I think she's a comedian. She tells like really lame race jokes. Something like, "Oh, they should change the name of cops to the." Oh no, it goes. They should change the name of the show "Cops" to "Blacks." Those are the type of corny, lame ass, unfunny race jokes she tells. That's like her shtick. I'll say something racist. It won't be funny, but it'll be racist, and everybody will like it. That's racist. That's where she gets her popularity from. The stereotypical unfunny female comedian who's using basically being homophobic, racist, fat phobic. Now, I usually don't use these terms, but this is literally her shtick. Make fun of fat people, make fun of black people, shit like that. Make fun of whores, even though she is one. That's her claim to fame. That's how she blew up. make fun of Indians. Pretty pathetic if you ask me. The term MAGA just doesn't mean anything to me. It just doesn't. But let's continue. Well, no, before I get back into it, I don't know how old this girl is. Maybe she's 21, 22 or something. She's fucked in the head. She's the typical car psychopath talking about her personal life for the world to see. Black flag deal breaker, not relationship material. But if she's 21, I'll give her some leeway. I'll give her some leeway. I don't know if she's ran through. She seems socially awkward already, maybe autistic. I'll give her a little leeway. Maybe she still got some time to save it.
Bad news bears.
22? Wait a second. I'm very much single. So how is this gonna work? Because my plans are getting a little like I actually have to meet someone tomorrow to have this be my life.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't mind paying to give the woman at the top right some Beats by Dre headphones. I'd pay $100 for that. I wouldn't pay $100 to just see her naked, but I would pay her $100 to give her some Beats by Dre headphones.
What the fuck?
So before she chimes in here, I'm not sure if she's going to say this or not, but it's like women only really have a few kicks at the can when it comes to having kids, properly having kids under societal, conforms with marriage and all that sort of stuff. It's been said maybe 3 or 4 kicks at the can before they're 40, because
Okay, let's talk about that. Rich Cooper says women have about 3 or 4 kicks at the can far as, getting in a relationship, then getting married, then having kids before 40. Like 3 or 4 solid kicks at the can. Here's the problem, especially these days. She's already had her pussy ran through before she graduated high school. It's already over. Like, I feel like a lot of these girls these days are getting their 3 or 4 kicks at the can in high school, and they're already cooked by the time they graduate. Or this is another way to look at it. The hot guys that they fuck from 15 to 25, let's just say, some would say those don't count as official kicks at the can. You know, when they finally settle for a guy that they know will give them a relationship, that's the first kick at the can. What up, Ivan? The first simp they try to settle down to, that's the first kick at the can. And then let's just say but most of these egomaniacs aren't even going to attempt to settle for a nice guy at 25. They're going to wait until like the last minute, 30, 35, when they're thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly ruined. And then I guess you can say their 3 or 4 kicks at the can start at about 30, 35. They got 10 years to trap a simp into giving her what she want out of life. I would say a girl's 3 kicks at the can are her first 3 sexual partners, at whatever point that is. And then after that point, to me, if she hasn't found her mate after 3 sexual partners, I would say the chances that she's ever going to be in a lifelong, lasting, healthy, happy relationship that lasts until she dies is slim to none. She might get married for 10, 20 years, but the chances that she will ever stay with one man for a lifetime, slim to none after 3 sexual partners, in my humble opinion.
kicks at the can before they're 40. Because again, you have a couple years of dating, you got the engagement, then you have the time to try to like, work the kids out of the equation and have the kids sort of thing, the wedding and the honeymoon and all other bullshit that usually comes with all that. It's like pretty standard for most guys. There's like very few guys out there will have children with a woman without actually getting married or love a woman and not live with her, as I prescribe sort of thing.
All right. And here's another thing. After she checks off those major boxes, got the relationship, got the marriage, got the kids, got the house, it's all downhill from there because she got everything she wants. So now it's time for the sex to dry up. Now it's time for the blowjobs to dry up. And now it's time for her to be a complete cunt to you. That's what you have to look forward to after you check off all her boxes and give her everything and give her everything that Chad wouldn't give her for 10, 15 years while fucking her. It's time to treat you like complete shit from 35 to 85. Marriage is a horrible fucking deal for men, and it always has been. Even back when women were good.
Or love a woman and not live with her, as I prescribe sort of thing. They follow the standard confirmation of just like follow these exact steps. And when you figure out it's going to take a couple years to date, you're to be engaged, plan the wedding, hopefully it sticks or it works out. More often than not, it doesn't. Like, like I mentioned earlier, Lauren Sanchez had 4 engagements that are made public. This is the one that married Jeff Bezos, plus a prior marriage, plus 3 kids from 2 different fathers, right? Like there's a whole buildup to all of these things. And
I just don't understand. How old is Jeff Bezos? I don't understand the point of getting married at over 50 or 60 as a billionaire. Like, what's the point, bro? What's the point? You could literally pay somebody to be your companion and take care of you until you die and have somebody watch the person that's taking care of you and make sure they don't fuck up. Like you have all the money in the world. Get married for what, bruh? How old is this man? He married a chick who got engaged 4 times and a divorce under her belt, or 2 divorces, I think he said. For what? Jeff Bezos. Does he got kids? $220 billion. Yeah, 60 years old. He got married at basically 60 to some piece of shit, essentially, who got engaged 4 times. If a woman been engaged 4 times, she's a piece of shit. Let's see. Jeff, period. We don't need to know the backstory. I mean, yeah, he didn't marry her to have kids. Lauren Sanchez. Let's see. How many times has Lauren Sanchez been married? Twice. 2-time divorced. She broke her vow with God 2 times and probably broke up 2 families. How many times has Lauren Sanchez been engaged? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, apparently she didn't marry one of her. She been divorced twice. One of the guys she never got down the aisle. This woman's a piece of shit. And I mean, she's not special for being a piece of shit. A lot of them are. Most of them are, arguably. So you got married at 60 with a bitch you're not gonna have kids with, just so when she get a wild hair up her ass, she can take half of your billions. That's fucking, man. Oh my gosh. The simp shit is just sickening. It runs deep. Fuck, it runs deep.
Up to all of these things. And there's like you run out of tracks at some point where you just can't have kids because you're too old, right? Like women have a timeline for that sort of stuff. Or if you do, it's geriatric pregnancy or higher risk and stuff like that. It can be problematic. But let's hear what she's got to say about all this.
Yeah, there we go. The feminists have lied to you, ladies. I'm sorry. You know, it's hard to come to the reality of the truth. I didn't until very late in my life. I'm fortunate because I'm attractive, but it doesn't always happen. Youth is beauty. I was way more attractive when I was younger.
Oh, she's annoying. She's giving herself way too much credit for her looks. I mean, she's not ugly, but she's not as beautiful as she thinks she is. It's always cringe when people, oh, I'm attractive. Like, I get it, but it's annoying. It's very annoying, and she's giving herself way too much credit. And you can just tell by her voice, her personality. She's an obnoxious cunt. She's very annoying.
Youth is beauty. I was way more attractive when I was younger. Well, maybe not because I was fat, but you guys get the point. Okay. Now, look, if you're older, I don't want you to take a black pill and feel like all hope is lost because that's what the demons want. They want you to be despondent and discouraged and black pilled. No.
She sounds like a old, obnoxious granny. She sounds like that bitchy granny smacking you with a wooden spoon. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she's the white Anita.
You to be despondent and discouraged and black pilled. No, but it should be a wake up call. Okay. The truth hurts when you're living in a lie because you've got to stop everything you're doing and make a change, which is very difficult. And you have to face the reality of the losses that you have suffered as a consequence of living in a lie.
Well, okay. I hear you. I hear you. But even the women who snap out of it or they realize the error in their ways, it still doesn't end up with them respecting the man that they end up with. You know what I mean? It's still not going to be a good thing for the man who takes the deal.
As a consequence of living in a lie. And the longer you live in a lie, the more consequences there are. That's the truth. So the best time to have woken up was 10 years ago. But the second best time is today because you're cutting the losses that will continue. They will continue. And this young girl is realizing that, hey, actually, I don't have all the time in the world. And if I do want this plan of getting married and having children, I need to start doing that now. And this.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. A lot of young girls are too stupid to even think about it the way that the young girl thought about it earlier in this video. So I'll give her credit for that. They don't sit and think like, wait a minute, if I want to be, if I want to have kids about 30, I still got to meet the guy. We got to be in a relationship a couple years, then be engaged for a year, and then it might take a year to have a kid. Like, the smart ones start thinking about it early. But when they're being just showered with attention and dick and trips and stuff, they don't got time to sit around and think about that. You know what I mean?
Start doing that now. And this is the reality, okay? And the truth of the matter is, despite all of the propaganda that's been pushed into your brains, girls, you do want to get married. You do want to have kids most of the time. And those of you who don't, you might want to check the Zio banking programming that has made you into an antinatalist. We've been suffering this for the last 50 years. My generation had it the worst.
You guys go look this up for yourself, but she's 35, and as far as AI search could tell, she doesn't have any kids. So she's preaching this narrative to you that she hasn't exercised herself. Just,
I mean, yeah, you got to be careful. This is a grifter. She's just saying what's gonna get donations. I mean, I don't know if she believes it or not, but You got to be a little skeptical, man. A lot skeptical about these red pill female content creators. She's the piece of shit she's talking about. No, not to say that she can't warn the other women, like, don't be a piece of shit like me. She can. But just, just know who you're talking to. Because let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is she holding out for a hot, tall Chad with some money? Because what type of man is she telling these young girls to get with? And if she's telling them to get with, average Joe who just got good intentions, are you with average Joe with good intentions? That's what I would want to know.
She's preaching this narrative to you that she hasn't exercised herself. Just heads up.
Okay. Thankfully, Gen Z is sort of waking up and realizing some stuff, but you guys have some other difficulties like the economy. But once again, keep faith, persevere, because there will be a way made for you. Just trust it.
That's terrible advice. That is terrible advice. The economy's fucked up and you're struggling in your dating life. Just trust it. Something will pop up and happen good for you. That's the worst advice you can give somebody. Just trust the universe. A way will be made, a path will be paved if you just trust the universe. This is why you don't listen to bitches. Even if they're trying to fake tell you what you want to hear.
When you take advice from a woman, literally do the complete opposite of whatever she says.
Listen to Auntie on this one. I would not steer you wrong.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Well, no, let's finish this real quick. And then we're gonna go over to Rumble and do a sleazy episode. So let me put the link in the chat. You don't have to sign up to join me. All you gotta do is click the link and watch. So let me drop that link. I just dropped the Rumble link. We're gonna finish this video and then we're gonna go over to Rumble to go over a sleazy episode.
Way made for you. Just trust it. That being said, you have.
Yeah, I don't buy the whole trust it. Just put your faith and hope. Hope is a terrible fucking plan to get shit done. Like I said earlier, like women only have a few kicks at the can to have children and get married if that's what it is that they're looking for. 3 or 4 attempts, that's it. And they usually squander them away, or they'll squander away a lot of their youth, a lot of their fertile years, like the first 10 years of their adult life, their 20s, for the most part. It's squandered on partying, traveling Europe in the summertime, working on cruise ships, doing all kinds of dumb stuff that's not going to be aligned with their quote unquote goal of being a mom and having a family.
Have to come to the reality of, what do I really want? Do I really want to be out in the city every night getting drunk with my girlfriends because it's fun? Or would I like to start a stable life with someone, have some children, raise a family, and have a fulfilling life? Think about it, okay? Most women, if you give them the option from being the boss bitch that they've been told to be, but you don't have a family and you don't have kids, or not being a boss bitch, but being married to a guy who can provide and having a family and having kids, if they were honest, they would tell you that they would pick this option.
But that's not the option on the table for 90% of women. Or let's put it like this. Those aren't the options on the table for 85% of women. Let me say it again. Those aren't the options for 85% of women. Let me break it down different. It's really going to be a matter of, do you want to bust your ass just to be poor for the rest of your life with no man and no kids? Or do you just want to work regular and not have to bust your ass as hard and have a man and kids. But most women are going to have to work to support the family, flat out. Most women are not going to be provided for, flat out, flat the fuck out. So honestly, women need to get that shit out of their head. If you could have locked that down, you would have locked it down before 25. If you're over 25, get that provider shit out of your head. It's not even on the table anymore. I mean, if you get lucky, cool, but your dating strategy shouldn't be get lucky. These bitches are going to work. And if you do decide not to work, you're going to be not working, living a 50K lifestyle. So that's nothing luxurious. Y'all going to be pinching pennies and cutting coupons. This whole thing about being provided for, they got another thing coming. Most women got another thing coming when it comes to being provided for fully and not having to work or not having to contribute in a major way to bills. That will not be most women's reality. And let me tell you this, that will not even be most pretty women's reality. Most beautiful women with banging bodies ain't even getting that deal, let alone all these average bitches who think they're going to get it.
If they were honest, they would tell you that they would pick this option because this option is pretty lonely. And not just for women, it's actually pretty lonely for men too. The reason that men try to succeed in business is so that they can attract a good mate and raise a family. That's the truth. A life without a partner and without children and without a family is pretty lonely. Okay. All you have to do is look at those 40 plus women that are over 40 and are now like having cats as pets and convincing themselves that they don't want this. And they all have to be on anti-anxiety medication.
Was that going to be you? What's this bitch name? Leonarda? It's a fucking horrible name. Stupid racist bitch. Like, here's the thing. I don't even have a big problem with somebody being racist. It's just when they're gonna be a cunt about it is when I've got a problem. Like, if you just don't like a certain race, but you don't bother them and you don't be a cunt about it, fine. When you're a cunt about being a racist, that's when I really got a problem with you. So let's see if she's single. Let's see if we can find anything. Leonarda, and if she's not, I'll apologize. Leonarda Joni, dumbass name. A female comedian, yeah, she's slept with over 200 men. Female comedians are notorious for being sluts. She got to be Jewish. Nope, she's not in a relationship. 35, not in a relationship. So chances are she's going to be that 40-year-old woman she was just talking about.
People have to be on anti-anxiety medication to bury the reality of what's going on. Okay. And I don't say this with a light heart, and I don't say it as somebody who hasn't had to do the same things. I say it out of love and compassion, which you're not going to get from the Marxist feminists who want to destroy you.
So King Pick says, that's why as a man, you should have a 100 body count before getting married. Ain't that right? Modern dating career. No, that's wrong, sir. Respectfully. I wouldn't tell men to go out and try to get 100 body count. I actually, shocking enough, I actually don't condone, debauchery on either side. Just going around fucking everybody. I don't think it's good for either sex, honestly. You know?
Who want to destroy you. But if you really think about it, you do not gain anything from fun. There's nothing to gain. Nothing. Fun is like eating cotton candy when you need a meal. Going out drinking and having a casual hookup with somebody who you're never going to see again is the cotton candy. It's great the first couple of bites, okay? Then you wake up and you have AIDS. So think about it. What are they really selling you, okay?
I guess it's just easier to make white people laugh. I didn't think it was funny. You wake up and you have AIDS. It's just not funny, man. It's just not fucking funny.
Really selling you, okay? As someone who lived in New York City in my 20s and was out there, you know, hanging out with the girls. Now, I wasn't going around doing, you know, all the shenanigans that they say, but I was in denial about the reality of what I wanted.
Let's just stop for a sec. If she spent her youth in New York City hanging out with the girls, Sex in the City era, you know what went down there. Like, okay, come on now. Let's be fucking honest.
Deep in my heart, every time, be like, okay, am I going to meet somebody solid? Now, like I said earlier, I couldn't make eye contact, so the people I met were psychopaths. I married one of them. That was a horrible situation. But the truth was that deep in my heart, I wanted to find a partner. That was the truth.
You married a psychopath. Like, you're not one. Like, seriously, it's so funny to hear him talk shit when they're what they're talking shit about. Oh, I married a psychopath. You're a psychopath. That's very evident in this video. But okay. And let me guess, after marrying and divorcing a psychopath and getting ran through in New York, now you're worthy of this top tier man, right? To give you your fairy tale. The fuck out of here.
Partner. That was the truth. But I couldn't face that because feminism told me that that was a wrong and sinful desire, that somehow I was weak for wanting these things. And the culture, the whole culture is built around teaching girls that it's weak to want to get married and have kids and have a family. What a load of shit.
Nobody wants to hear a woman cussing and carrying on. Like, no decent man is gonna marry or even be in a relationship with a woman who's 35 still cussing every other word. You know? Only like low vibrational people, low vibrational men are gonna take her serious. It's that simple. Hmm. I'll be back, and then we're gonna go over the Rumble.
I have never been so happy to see a man eat his last bite of steak. I went on a date. I don't even know why.
My baby has like maybe 8 stamps in her passport, and she's almost 3. I need a man that can keep up with that. I don't want to put a man in a predicament to where I'm like, all right, we out. You gonna take care of the house and feed the dogs? Because I don't want to do that to him. I would never crush a man's self-esteem like that.
I have never been so happy to see a man eat his last bite of steak. I went on a date. I don't even know why I am doing this. This one was worse than Cat Dad. He's an attorney. I don't care. But he found a way to say either attorney or lawyer 28 times over dinner. Yes, I counted. Conservative, Christian. I love my Jesus. But he was that type. That type. But at the same time, looking at me like I'm a pork chop. He ain't eating this pork chop. It's one and done. I feel so devastated. I had to pull into my local watering hole for a consolation drink. All right, that's it.
All right, Queen, past 50, you're not a pork chop. You're definitely not a pork chop. You're damn roast beef is what you are. Listen, I don't know what you think you are, but one thing that you're not is the chooser here. Your SMV is super low, especially when you're going on a date with a lawyer. You can talk about him all you want. Yeah, he said he was a lawyer 28 times. I can't believe this. I'm so glad he finished eating the steak. And he's looking at me like if I was a pork chop. Okay, that will probably be a compliment at this point. What are you? What do you have to offer? Let me see, an empty egg carton. A taco that's been smashed into roast beef. Obviously, you got a lot of baggage with you. And super high standards that you don't qualify for. Why don't you qualify? Because you're not a young woman who can offer a man a whole lot. It's not like you can offer him a crispy taco. It's not like you can offer him to start a family. It's not like you could offer him an attitude that doesn't come with a jaded past. I mean, heck, oh yeah, he's a conservative. One of those types. And what are you? The type that leeches off of the man. The type that went out with him. I'm pretty sure he paid for dinner and then you had to go get another drink at your local watering hole. I.e., where you usually go to get your back blown out. Listen, honey, you can talk smack about other men all you want, but you're just talking about a guy that you don't qualify for. And he probably has better options than you. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
I am 50 years old and I have never been married and I don't have kids. And I know that some people think that is a red flag. And my question is why? Is it better to have a divorce? Is it better to be like a single mom? Is it better to be in an unhappy marriage? I don't understand why people in my situation are called red flags.
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
All right, Queen, there are multiple reasons why this girl can tell you why most men would consider you to be a red flag, being 50, never having been married, never had any kids, never have been in a long-term relationship, apparently. But instead of talking for 10 hours straight, I'm just going to tell you the top #1 reason why most men would consider you a red flag. And that is, if you have gone this long being completely single, devoid of everything, and you have above average looks, that simply means that you have super high demands. I'm talking about, by default, you're going to demand a super long list that you yourself can't even provide 10% of the equivalent to a man. And this would explain why you've been alone your entire life. Either that or you're just not into dudes. Moving on.
I have made this video 3 times, and this time I'm just going to keep it short because the reason why I keep deleting it is I keep having to filter myself, and that's so annoying because I just want to come on here and tell the truth and be authentic, and I feel like I can't. Because somebody is watching, somebody is judging, somebody's going to have an opinion. But gosh darn it, women over 50 who are single, who have entered the dating scene, oh my gosh. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. And I don't know if it's different for 50-year-olds or 40-year-olds or 30-year-olds or 20-year-olds anymore in the 2020s. I just don't know. I want to have fun. I want to go out. I want to go play. I want to dance. I want to listen to live music. I love to flirt. I want to have a good time. And at the same time, I don't want to wind up with a guy that's going to completely mess up my nervous system, which is what I did the very first guy I dated. I got divorced. I stayed single 6 years. 6 years. Because I was, 1, focused on my daughter, who was 13 at the time, and I wanted to get her off into college. And 2, I was scared of the world. I didn't want to be hurt again. I didn't know what it meant to be that age and single. I had been with the same guy since I was 21. I didn't know anything. So just staying inside felt more protective. It felt more safe. And that's exactly what I did. And then when she went to college, all of a sudden something woke up in me. I'm alive again. I'm feeling feisty. I'm feeling playful. I'm feeling feminine for the first time in a very, very, very long time. I've run a big business my whole life. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling feminine. If you guys, anybody understands what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. And I want some male attention. And I want to go out and have a good time. And the very first guy I wind up with totally freaks out my nervous system. It's basically the same guy I married. It's basically the same guy I dated as a teenager. And they, you know, they're all wrapped up in their own traumas. And they lie and whatever else. And I can completely see that I'm the one attracting that guy. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And I've really, really, really spent a long time working on myself to try to change that. And I will tell you that after that guy, I spent about a year, that whole year, just kind of like exploring. It's my first time being single. I don't know what this means. I did learn that younger guys really like older women. Whether or not they want to wind up with them or whether they just want to hang out with them, 2 different things altogether. And I'm not going to speak for everybody.
All right, fam. So far, this gorilla has seen a lot of common ground between this decades plus post-walk Halloween and the usual tropes that we see out there. Before we start addressing what she said, or should I say, addressing a ramble, let's go through our phenomenal checklist of what we're seeing. Let me see. Women over 50, check. Cat in the background, check. Wants to have fun like a woman in her 20s, check. Is a boss babe, check. Problems dating men she wants, check. Can't get to the point in her long rants, double check. Okay, Queen, if you haven't noticed, this is nothing new. This is something that 99.9% of my male viewers have seen over and over again. If you were with a guy that long, why didn't you just continue with him? Why did you subject yourself to all this? Unfortunately for you, your dating life isn't going to get any better. This is not going to get better. Why? Because whatever your fifis told you when you were married, whichever way you went when you justified breaking up your long-term relationship, none of it is going to be of any help, any use to you now. Because now you're in the real world again. You're back in the dating market. The problem is, in your mind, you still believe that you could pull in the type of guy that you could pull in when you were in your 20s. You're way past that now, Queen. More important than that, the guys in your age group right now have way more experience than you do, know way more about the modern dating world, and know that they could pull in more. On top of the fact that they know where they stand. They know where their SMV actually is. You are going to suffer from a lot of things that we have seen many times before. The first problem is that you believe that you need to find yourself again. What, you didn't know where you were this whole time? You knew where you were. When you say, I want to find myself, no, you want to find something new to do because you were born.
People, let's go over to Rumble. I'm about to drop the link in the chat again. Oh yeah, we about to go over a sleazy episode on Rumble. Link is in the chat. I'll holler at y'all next time. Rumble link is in the description for Replay Gang. Might do a exclusive membership episode tonight too. So yeah, join the membership, y'all. It's only $5 a month now. It really helped the channel grow. But all right, I'll see y'all over on Rumble, the people that's coming over here.